All right, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Team-Stirr Show. Thank you all. Thank you. Do we have any haters out there in the audience? Okay, all right. Listen, you're all welcome. Everyone is all welcome to come. Everyone. But thank you again for coming. This episode is being recorded for Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. God bless you all. Again, welcome to the Team-Stirr Show, a.k.a. Stewart Talk, a.k.a. Borges in the Bunker, and a.k.a. whatever you haters want. Listen, you guys love this show. I appreciate you guys always watching. I know, but keep things civil. Keep it civil, okay? Welcome again. Let me get the particulars out of the way and we can get started. The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the members' best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your... let me shut this off. About your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are my own, Daniel Borges, and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act. All right, again, everybody, thank you again for coming. Our last episode, we went through the State of the Union, of our local going into 2025. Like I told you, this year should be the year elections. The new elections should be coming up for, all positions up in the local 177. And every seat is open. Every seat is open to run. Like I always tell everyone, if I'm going to run, I'm running for president. Will I do it this year? I don't know. I still got a lot going on, and I don't know. By the time that happens, we're still having meetings with a bunch of us. Some guys want to do this, some guys want to do that, and when we get it together, we'll decide. But what's my position and what's my voice? We need new leadership, or leadership needs to start listening to us. One of the two. Because at the end of the day, they don't pay us. We pay them. We pay their salaries, okay? And it is what it is. So today I want to talk about, it might be a little long show because there's a lot for me to say. And so this episode is more like a PSA, public service announcement, because last week it was a little crazy. So let me just get this out of the way, let you guys know so there is no confusion. Okay, the name of this episode is going to be called Nothing to See Here. Okay, because this is what our leaders are pretty much telling us. Nothing to see here. This stuff can get done. And it's like, wow, Borges, what are you talking about? So, our local is suffering from subcontracting. Harassment is on an all-time high. Layoffs. And one of the worst things that was so disgusting this week was when I heard about them getting involved and helping a steward get a job. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'll get into it. There is a running joke, kind of a joke riddle type thing, and the question was this week: how many local 177 members does it take to pick a feeder job? Of course, guys, I'm from Edison. I'm from Fetus. And the answer is the vice president, a trustee, 2 business agent, and the current steward. 5. And so you guys are probably wondering, what the hell's going on? What are you talking about? I'll get to that in a minute. I want to get to the most important part. I talked about subcontracting. And, okay, there was a huge thing going on this week where guys were seeing not just one gypsy, but a fleet of gypsies in the rail yard picking up UPS work that we, the members of Local 177, dropped off. This is a fact. This is what was going on this week. How long it's going to continue to go, I don't know. But this is what's going on. And so they were all losing their minds. I was getting so many calls, so many, stuff sent. And it's like, what's going on? And so it took a lot of people by surprise. And from what I was, from what I'm hearing from other stewards, and this is okay. Nothing we could do. Nothing to see here. This is what our leadership is telling us. This is fact. Nothing to see here. Some want to pretend like this ain't really, like they didn't know or whatever, but this is the answer that we're getting. Now, my opinion, this is a bunch of nonsense. Bunch of garbage. We got guys laid off. At least in Edison, Cranberry, somewhere between 30 and 40. God knows how many what the other buildings are having. This is just the feeders, okay? And this is a bunch of nonsense. Nothing to do, nothing to see. And so the excuse that's being given is that the rail yard's having an issue trying to either get to the tunnel or there's some tunnel issues and they can't stack the trailers. So one of the excuses that I was told was they can't stack the trailers, but unfortunately, they're moving gray boxes, which you don't really stack. They're not chassis boxes, where you could take the box and you could stack, so they're moving gray boxes and they're moving them to the Baltimore rail yard. And so not only that, Baltimore guys in that area are texting and sending people information about loads that came from our buildings are being brought over there. And they're seeing this. And this is insane. This is absolutely insane with guys being laid off. And our people, nothing to see here. Because there is a loophole and there's a gray area that the company is either abusing. Maybe they're abusing. I don't know. But it's terrible. There's nothing for them to investigate. You can't call Sean O'Brien to get the information that is needed to see if all of this is legitimate. And then on top of that, the company knowing that this is what's going to happen, they're still sending it regardless. How is that okay? How is that okay? We can move that work ourselves. It's not like they're taking it all the way themselves. They're just taking it to the rail yard, to another rail yard that we can drive ourselves. And so what doesn't make sense, there's more questions than anything when it comes to this. How is the rail yard making money doing this? How can they charge the same fee that they charge the company to bring the trailer in, and then they're going to pay a gypsy to move it? Is it that bad? Is it that cheap to use a gypsy nowadays? And the rail yard's just going to make the same fee or just break even? I don't know. The rail yard's a business. Last I checked. Makes no sense. Or how do we know that since the company has this loophole and they know this loophole, that they're abusing it and they're saying, hey, they're using the rail yard as a blanket to be able to do this? And be like, since the union can't do anything. Of course, these are opinions. But are you even checking these things? There's nothing to check? Nothing? No one to call? No one to inform? Just let it happen? It's sad. It's the state of our union. And it's disgusting. But I'm going to tell you what they do get involved in. They get involved, and like the writ on the joke I was talking about, they get involved. Our vice president gets involved in helping pick a job for a feeder steward. One of his stewards. You see, as you well know, you guys in feeders, stewards have to be separated. There's multiple stewards throughout the day. It's a 24-hour thing, and they're separated by block of hours. They have to be separated. For decades, it's been 4 hours. 4 hours across the board. 4 hours. For decades. Mind you, the vice president used to be a steward at one time, and it was 4 hours. So all of a sudden, in his infinite wisdom, he decides, and he lays this ridiculous revelation to now change it to like 6 hours. 6 hours. And the only place what's crazy is he does it is in Cranberry and Edison. Never brought this up to anybody in Parsippany, Meadowlands. Why so different? You know why it's so different? Because the guys in Cranberry and Edison were political rivals. They ran against them. And so they make up all these ridiculous rules, and he wants to keep changing things to continue to keep harassing us for running. And now this is an opinion, but it's hard not to believe it because it makes absolutely no sense on why are you doing these things. This is our vice president. This is what he's concerned with. Harassment's off the hook. Guys getting harassed for FMLA. And it's just crazy. And this is what he got concerned. And how did I find out? One of the stewards who got affected gave me a call. Now, if I were a steward, I'd be really ticked off. He's the second senior guy in Edison. Okay? And so when he heard this, he was taken aback. He lost his mind. He let the vice president know how he felt. And he just felt that he was doing it on purpose to mess around with the Cranberry and Edison stewards who do not support them. Political rivals. Eventually, we're going to have to go to the labor board with this because the second senior steward was violated. And so what he did so that he couldn't give them an excuse to remove him, he picked his job 6 hours away from the senior guy. And the senior guy can pick whatever. He's the senior guy. So the second senior guy should be able to pick what he wants, but it has to be 4 hours. And that's part of it. Okay? And so what wound up happening was he did that. And so the stewards who were doing the job bids, one of the stewards was told, when you get to this such and such person, because he let them know that this is where the second seniority steward is, and you said it's going to be 6 hours, I'm letting you know that this guy picked these hours now, and it's going to force this guy to go somewhere. And their response was, when you get to this guy, which is their steward, and that's okay. He can support them all he wants. He can love them all he wants. That's okay. You stop the bids. And they did that. They stopped so they can help and figure out how to get this guy in the position where they need him in. And sure enough, they did that. They went from the 4, they changed it from the 6, they changed it back to the 4, and now violating the second senior steward. Okay? Blatantly. And it's disgusting. The fact that you want to put people, you shouldn't be involved in stewards at all. This is why this whole thing with the Christmas party is only to continue to collude and to corrupt them and to make them think we're friends. We're just not employed. We're friends. The members voted for the stewards, not the hall. But they want to make sure that the executive board have their own guys in there so that when stuff like this with the subcontracting happens, they have their guys on the ground and they're telling the people, no, the company could get away with this and this is what it is. And But a person like me, if I was steward, I'm going to let everyone know how it is. And you guys, you haters, listen, you guys can love and vote for whoever you want. But you're not going to tell me. What you're not going to tell me is to think and to walk around like you guys. That's cool. Do what you want to do. I don't force my stuff upon you. You don't have to watch the show, but you do. And then you guys want to call me, well, why are you, I don't call any of you. If you call me and you want to talk like a moron, I'm going to respond to you the same way. The same energy you put in, I'm going to put it right back out. I didn't call you. You called me. You want to have a discussion with me and your whole agenda is about to do something else? I will walk away from you. Because, nothing that you're asking and you want to talk about is earnest. And so this is the position that we're in and this is what's going on. Okay, 15 minutes. We're going to be done in a minute. But this is where we are. This is what our leaders are concerned about. This is why they got to go. They either got to go or they can change the way they do things and really listen. It could be one or the other. Like I said, when I put the slate together, it's going to be when we, not me, when we get together as a slate or want to run for positions, my position is going to be for president because we have lack of leadership. The fact that the vice president is involved with a steward to help him get a job, and then he violated the second senior steward because he's a political rival and he speaks against them, is a bunch of garbage. Garbage. You should be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Vice President. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But this is what it is. And so, I get information from guys from across the nation. I get a couple of people that do call. And they're like, why are you so rough on them? Why do you do? I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just keep turning a blind eye? I used to be one of their guys. I used to support them until I saw the ugly corruption and the BS that goes on. You want me to say nothing? Nah, that's okay. I don't need your friendship. I don't need your friendship. I'm going to say what it needs to be said. And whether you like it or not, get over it. But, we're going to eventually go to the Labor Department and seek to see what we can do about them retaliating against us for being political rivals. Because that's what it is. They don't like it. They're very sensitive. It's not a democracy here. It's a dictatorship, and that's what they want. And they put their own people so they could guide the rest of the flock. And it's disgusting already. So now you guys who are dealing with harassment, we have an Article 37 committee in the contract. They don't use it. They never use it ever. I hear of other locals using it. They're telling me, why aren't they using it? They don't want to bring nothing to the labor board. So what do? We do it ourselves. We'll go to the labor board ourselves. And when we file these complaints with the labor board and they ask us, well, where's your union? Let them explain to the labor board why they're not there representing us. Let them do it. To show the shame. And maybe they have no shame. Maybe they have no shame. I really hope some of you guys that know guys from the other locals like 804 and throughout the nation, and maybe get this video to O'Brien or whatever, and hopefully they show them, because they like to pretend like they're the old regime, and they're not. They're riding off their coattails, and then every 3, 4, 5 years they're giving away. They just keep giving them away. And it's sad. This is where we are. But this is what it is. I'm sorry to give you guys bad news. So when you see it again, if it happens again this week, this is what it is. Call the local. Call our leadership. What are they doing? And you're going to see they're going to tell you nothing. They could do it. And other than that, listen, guys, that is it. That is it. Like I said, you're suffering harassment, file grievances, and then hopefully we'll get together with some people and we'll start going to the labor board ourselves. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do, because if the people that we pay don't want to represent us, then it is what it is. And what I also have here is the local 177 LM2, which shows the salaries. We got some salaries. What we'll do next week is the salaries, honestly, they're not too bad. But, some of them are making some pretty decent coin. I mean, the whole one I saw, the full package was $198, but about 30,000 of that money is spent on expenses. So it might bring them down to like 167. And are we getting the bang for our buck? And we're paying these guys what they're, it's pretty decent. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but if this is what we're going to pay for, then it is what it is. But other than that, like I said, maybe next week we'll play the game of name that salary. Well, I will give you the person's salary and you can guess whose salary it is. Listen, I get it. Some of you guys ain't going to like it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But Listen, God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless this union. God bless every working man and woman out there, because it's bad, man. It's bad that they're losing their jobs right now. But this is where we are. Guys, have a great weekend. You know, it is what it is. But we might unfortunately have another 3 years of this crap. But hopefully we could get things to change with a huge voice. But talk to you guys. God bless. Be safe.